Hello, hello. I just need to post my Instagram thing. I'm almost done, I promise. Sorry. How are you all? I rearranged. I'm on the other side of the room today, so that's why I'm a little bit. What am I doing? Adding store. There's too many options on Instagram now. Hey, Jared. First, you're gonna start a new challenge to people by saying that. Hey, Fiona. Hey, Anne. Nice to see you. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Hannah. Hello, Sylvia. How's it going? You're still ironing? Okay. Let me get my. I don't want you to see my YouTube watch history here. Let's see. Share. Copy link. The multiple platform thing. I love that they added this link button now. It makes it so much easier. My office mate gave me a little snake, so I'm making the snake a little symbol today. I should show it to you guys. We'll get it. It's right over here. I didn't, Anne. Oops. Oh, where's the camera? Here, you see, look at my little snake he made me. I love snakes. 3D printed. All articulated. Look at his little face. And he's kind of pokey. I love it. I love snakes. Okay. Maybe we'll just put him here. I didn't do where's the camera? I swapped everything on the side. I didn't do a pant fitting video, Anne, because I'm just using Michael's shorts and then going to modify them to pants. And that's what I'm going to do today before I cut them. So do I have suggestions for fitting men? I mean, maybe if I'm trying to read chat and making sure. If you ever want help, aren't you a guildie, Anne? You can post photos and I can help you. It's the same types of things you do on women's pants. You know, like you're just doing the exact same things. It's just different shapes. But you're doing the same things. At least I do the same things. And I think that it's just like if if he's got a flat butt, you're going to do a flat butt adjustment, right? If you need more space in crotch depth or less space or whatever it is. I know I'm making it sound like super simple, and I know it's not. I'm sorry. Yeah, I get it, Anne. We all are. Hi, Michelle. How's it going? Hi, Tiffany. Congratulations on the new addition to your family. She got a cat, everyone. So, don't get any thoughts. Okay. So, to recap what we're doing today, I am making this. These shorts have foiled me many times on camera because of my own silliness. But these, why is the camera way over here? I want to go like this. These right here are the Wardrobe by Me cargo shorts that I have fit for my husband, which I had here and then I brought home. I thought, oh, I'm done with these. I'll just take these home, and I should have left them here. And he wears the heck out of these. They are quite an involved sewing project, and that's partly why they always foil me, that and the fact that I always forget it's a waist facing, not a waistband. And I do something funky with the fly every time. And I feel so bad because I know people are like, oh, I want to use this video to help me sew this together. And you made a big mistake. And I did. So this time we're not going to make a mistake. We're going to putting my foot down. All right. Hi, Diane. How's it going? Dream barking. Oh my God, I had the craziest dream last night. I told Michael all about it. I don't know where this came in my head either. So anyway, so we're going to be making the cargo shorts, no cargo pockets, no butt patch. This has a butt patch. But we're going to keep the hand pockets and the welt pockets in the back. This is when I used to print out the whole gosh dang thing, and I accidentally did this on one side. Here we go. So it's like view B. We're going to do view B as pants. And then I brought a pair of his pants today to sort of get the right length. Oh no, Michelle, I am so sorry. Is that the video that I feel like I rarely comment on my own videos, and I should more often because I can pin the comment and you see it when you're watching the video because I can alert you to things like that, like alert, alert. And I'm sure Beverly did those timestamps and says, hey, she makes a mistake soon, so you might want to watch out. She's really good at helping me out. Oh my goodness. Did I say hi to you, Beth? Welcome. All right. So the pattern pieces, I just dumped all my pattern pieces out and I have traced them on here. You can't see it very well, but I'll make it a little darker for you. I'm using a twill, navy blue twill, which I promise the lighting will be better in the other room when we're sewing them. And I have it in 2 pieces, unfortunately, because I bought some for a pair of shorts for somebody. And then when I went to buy the pants, they were like, oh, we don't have as much as we said we do on stock. So I'm kind of hoping between the 2 pieces, I can still get the shorts and the pants, hopefully. We'll see. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm glad you're home, Diane. Yeah, how's she doing? Here is a pair. And this is going to be, one of these will be my pocket lining. Maybe you guys can help me choose. Yeah, you learn how to seam rip. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay, this is my template for the welt pocket and back. Okay, so we want that. I just printed it on cardstock. It's just the back pattern piece. You can see, actually it's upside down. There's the waist and this is the dart and that's the opening. You can see the notches there. There's the grain line and I just printed this out on cardstock and then trimmed off the edges so I can line it up to the top. All right, so we want the front pockets. You might want these deeper. They are very, very shallow because they are made to not interfere with stitching down the cargo pockets. And if you want a longer pocket bag, it has to swoop away from the side seam and it needs to be pinned up out of the way, and you might need to sew things kind of back and forth between those 2 pockets. It is a little trickier, but otherwise the pocket opening comes to here and this was the depth of the pocket. So I made him longer for him. I might get rid of this right here. We'll cut it, but I might get rid of it. I'm not a big fan of the pockets. Stay with this sewing. All right, so we're gonna use that. Not doing the side pocket. We'll keep the belt loops. Not doing the butt patch. This is part of the back pocket facing number 9 is part of the welt pockets. That's the facing. Here, this is the welt pockets. Here's one of my tips I wrote to myself is that you want to cut this upside down for directional prints. So basically, like here's the opening down here. You want to cut it this way up if you have a directional print on your pocket lining, not like this, right? Because that's the dart notch right there. And that's just hand drawn. I just hand drew that on there as for reference because you don't need it on there. Fly extension, fly facing. We don't need the pocket flap. We need the front pocket facing for the front pockets. Big pocket facing. Oh yeah, so this is the opening and this is where the palm of your hand goes, that facing. So those are both front pockets. And then this is the top pocket to the front pocket. So many pieces. All right, here we go. Now we need your front, the waist facing, which I have heavily corrected for fit for Michael. And then we need the back. I don't even see the cargo pocket in here. I just saw the flap. It's probably still in the, oh no, there it is right there. Yeah, so these are the 3 pieces. I'm only leaving these 3 out, the cargo pockets and the butt patch. It felt like it was going to be so many more we're leaving out, and it's not. We need all these pieces. Hi, Amy. How's it going? Hello, Helen. Welcome, welcome. Oh, yeah, you're never late here. That's going to be your hashtag, Sylvia. Be careful. You say it so many times in the guild, that'll be your nickname. After 2 years, really need to have wrist fused, and she did that. Oh, good. Yeah, the dogs are cute, right? That's the unlaminated fabric from Splash Fabric. So they sell some of their fabrics laminated and unlaminated, and I saw them at the Sew Expo show this year, and I just thought, oh, I'm just gonna get it. So they sell it really cheap at the show, and so I just got a few yards to like just to have on hand for like things like this, pockets and stuff. Hello, RT Blade, how's it going? All right, let's put that away. Here's all our pattern pieces. And here is a pair of his jeans for an inseam reference. I wanted pants, but he gave me jeans, unfortunately. Hello, Rose. How's it going? Do you find a bit of difference between the Jutland pants and the pattern? Looking to fit my husband's sons. Oh, I think I've only made, for the pants and wardrobe by me and men's, I've only made the men's jeans. And then I made the Jutland. That's a good question. He wears the jeans by wardrobe by me more than the Jutlands. The Jutlands are a very full butt for him. They're too baggy in the back for him. They're both great patterns though. I don't know about the sizing on either one because I haven't touched them in a while. How is the sizing on Thread Theory? Like how high does it go up? So that might be the thing that just makes you decide. The wardrobe by me, it starts, like my husband's like this is the size, what is this? Oh, might not even say. I think this is like the XL, and if you've seen pictures of my husband, he's not an XL. So that's the one thing I would look at the sizes, and I wouldn't go by the numbered size, I would go by the measurements. Yeah. They're not flat. The wardrobe by me jeans are not flat, but it's not that I think that they're all too big, like they're drafted too big. I just think they're drafted, he's very small, his butt. So nothing like starting a stream talking about your husband's butt to everybody, you know? Winning. Okay, well, wait, I just coiled this up. I wanted the other end. I hate it when I coil up a tape measure and I start with the small end. Always start with the big end because then you can just undo a little bit to do a measurement, you know? And I always forget to do that. All right, so we're just gonna get a ballpark. I'm gonna do the inseam and the outseam. Okay, 9 and 37.5. Yeah, good luck. They're both great patterns. I've only made both of them once. Did I do the jeans as a live stream, or is it? It's a live stream, right? Not a how-to. She might have a how-to on her YouTube channel, so you don't have to watch a live stream. Congrats, Amy. Thanks for doing the stove research for all of us so we can ask you. All right, so the 2 alterations I need to make is to make these into pants. I don't need to make any adjustments to any of these other pattern pieces, only the 2 main front and back pieces. So we're gonna just set all of these aside. Put a weight on them. And let's just start. Wow, I was really optimistic. Look how long I made this piece of paper. He's like 2 inches taller than me. Okay, so here's my short. So when you're tracing off pants, the first thing I always do is I draw the grain line. Just draw it all the way down. Now I like the grain line on the pant where it's supposed to be. I know that sounds so snobby, but it should be in the middle of your hem. So if you fold the hem in half, that's where the grain line should be. So that's where I put it on this. So I folded this in half. You can barely see I have a little fold mark on top of my thing here. Let's see if can I make this go this way more. No, I really just need to be careful with where I put I put my face cam on the right hand side to leave as much real estate over here as possible. So let's move over a little bit. Maybe what I'll do is this, and that'll prevent me from putting things over here. How's that? So I always do that, and then I line it up on there, and then I'm going to trace it, right? And I have done so already. I would make all of your changes to your pattern first, so you don't have to worry about transferring them twice, you know? And then let's get our pocket piece out. That'll be handy to fill in the missing amount. And not this one. This one here. I'm going to get the under pocket. I don't know what they call it. It is the under pocket. She calls it the big pocket bag. It's an under pocket, and it has the corner here, so we can line it up. And I just line it up at waist and side seam, like that. There we go. And we will pencil it in. And I just need this for my outseam measurement here, right? This pattern only has 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, so this would be a really good chance for me to up that if I want. So how should I finish these, do you think? Oops, sorry. I could do a flat felled seam on the end seam, but the side seams are always really tricky with flat felled because of the pockets. It's not that it's not possible, but this juncture right here where the pocket opening meets the side seam can be quite thick. And it depends on, you know, what fabrics you're using. But you have to remember that there's going to be a pocket bag. There's going to be 2 pocket facings, one that goes on top of this pocket bag, one that goes to finish this opening here, and then there's a top pocket bag. If you want to decrease the amount of thickness here, you could eliminate this facing right here. You just have to be careful when you sew the pocket lining to this edge to make sure it's all on the underside and you can't see it from the right side, right? So that would decrease it. Like if you were doing this in like a heavier fabric and you wanted to, like maybe you just have issues with your machine or whatever. That's one way. Plus that little piece is kind of like easy to lose, you know? Yeah, I mean, I will always do that, Amy. Not maybe faux flat fell, but I'll always top stitch the side seam from here to the bottom of the pocket bag. It reinforces it and it gets that side seam kind of flatter on the person. It's not to say you can't do flat felt. I have done it, and I find the trickiest part, because I do it on the, I did it in a video for somebody. Oh, the Esmond pants for cashmerette. That is a flat felled out seam. I prefer a flat fell inseam over either one, you know, like if you're going to pick one. So usually on my outseam, even on anything I've flat felled here, it's overlocked. So it's just something to think about right now. I wouldn't mind a little bit more seam allowance. I'm going to definitely add to the inseam here because 3/8, you can flat fill 3/8, but why would you? You know, like let's just make it a little easier on ourselves. Oh, the other thing I want to get from these pants is the hem circumference right here. I want that. And are these stretch? Oh, I did not know these were stretch. What the heck? I bet guys don't even know they're wearing stretch jeans sometimes. Women too sometimes. That's really funny. They don't fit them like tight pants. Okay, so that's 14. Oh, it's right here. I'm writing this down. I'm in the process of making a pant fitting video for y'all, like an uploaded one. And I'm spending a ton of time on all the sketches because I really want to illustrate this one thing. And I'm looking at everything like, you know how the back wraps around to the front in pants? It makes it like devilishly tricky to copy a pair of pants sometimes because you have this, you know, the back is coming onto the front. So you have this little fold right here, fold right there. This is, I'm looking at the sewing right now. See, this is fine when this seam goes past here, but I don't like it when it lines up with that, you know? All right. 14-inch hem circumference. And so the shorts right now are going to be well above that. Like just this front short is 10 and the back's going to be bigger. It's probably 11. So we're already at a 7-inch difference between our hem circumference for our pants and the shorts. So, all right, let me focus here. We're talking about adding some seam allowance. Oops. I'm gonna just draw in some of this here. So we can see it. Your pieces may look slightly different than mine because I've fit this to Michael. So just so you know. This is such a pain in the butt. It's great to be able to hang my ruler, but this little hook it drives me crazy when I'm using it, just to be honest and transparent. So if we kind of carry this down, and let's say our projected hem circumference is 14, and on those pants, the back is, it's like a 6 3/4 and 7 1/4. Is that what it is? 6 3/4 and 7 1/4. That's 14, and that's a 1/2 inch difference. Yeah. We could do it a little more too than that. So if that's our like hopeful amount, we're looking at dividing that amount on either side of the grain line. This is why I like the grain line down the middle of the hem. So then we can do that. So I'm just going to put that front hem circumference, my like rough ideal. I'm just going to pencil it in here. So it's like right here, equidistant on either side of the hem. And then now we're just going to look for an outseam that is roughly in the ballpark, which is about right here. And then let's see if our inseam is going to be close to that, because sometimes they'll be wildly off balance. And I think in this case they might be, for a very good reason. Yeah, exactly. It's down here like that. And so then I'm going to split the difference. I knew that was going to happen because the inseam of the jeans is going to be, how do I say this? It starts lower. So these, the inseam of the jeans starts higher. That's what it is. So these right here start lower. So the shorts, if you were to look at the rises of these two shorts, right? I mean, these two pairs of pants. Here's my really bad sketch. Here's the shorts, right? But the jeans are more like this. They're up here, right? Because jeans are a closer fit. That's why initially I said, well, I was hoping it was going to give me pants, not jeans. And so because this inseam is up there, right, and it's 29, if I'm measuring low, starting lower, it's going to kick the inseam down lower, not across from the outseam, and that's okay. We're going to stick with this rise. We're not going to mess around with that. These are like a casual pant. They're not a jeans fit, and we can split the difference. So here is our, right, and we can just split the difference here. We could just go to that outseam as well, but I'm going to make, I always make pants an inch longer than I want, because multiple washings for some reason keep shrinking the fabric in my experience. So I always give my pants an extra inch. So we'll just split the difference here, and it's about like 1 3/4. So we'll just make our outseam an inch longer, and we want it perpendicular to the grain line here. So does all that make sense? Am I saying this in kind of, I know I'm kind of like stream of consciousness, but this way you don't really want to always just take the measurements from a finished garment and say, oh, well, this works. Where is the 0, 0 point, right? And the 0, 0 point here for each of these pants are different from one another, right? That makes sense. So, okay. So let's get rid of this thing for now, just because it's really annoying to have. And we're going to, here is our current side seam. This is our cut line, because we have the pocket opening. I have buttons. I'm wearing a skirt and it has buttons all the way down, and they keep getting hung up on the table. It's really annoying. We're also going to cut. Hi Aisha, how's it going? We're going to cut this off. There we go. So now my ruler's a little bit short for this, right? So I sometimes like, maybe we should make, I'm going to make the hem circumference a little bit wider. We're going for a pant fit, not a jean fit, so something like that. And then here we have the inseam. Oops. If we were drafting these proper, we'd know where the knee line is, and then, you know, we're going to make sure that we're kind of in the ballpark of what we want. I'm going to shape this a little bit more. That's just a little, probably a little too full, and we can kind of gently sort of scoop this away and shape it. You don't need a lot of volume between your knees, you know what I mean? Okay. All right, so that feels pretty good. Okay, now we're just going to leave this for now. Sometimes I go through phases of ironing everything, like as it comes out of the laundry, if I'm just kind of in the mood. I'm not in the mood anymore now that I have this iron here, because at home the iron is just not, it's great, but it's not nearly like this one here. And so I haven't been in the mood to do that in a while. But I do love like Sylvia's just ironing everything in her thing, it sounds like. I do love being able to be like, oh, I can just pull something out of the closet and put it on. That's freeing. All right, are we keeping with the 3/8 out here? I think I'm gonna just bump it up like a 1/8 of an inch, all right? I'm gonna give myself a 1/2 inch seam allowance on the out seam here. I don't like drafting with Sharpies. Don't do it. It's not as accurate, like at all. It's not even funny how inaccurate a Sharpie is for drafting. It's not cute at all. I think we could do a little more shaping right here, and so I'm gonna look at that when we do the back. Because I'm looking at this pant. Oh, I wanted this line. Shoot. I'm going to look at that when I do the back. And when I'm looking at this way and not like rotating this 90 degrees and looking at it that way, it'll help a little bit. We're kind of doing, again, another wearable muslin for Michael. Okay, we're going to most likely cut off. Well, we'll just get it on there. Okay, here we have our back. And again, I folded my hem in half here, and I line it up at the seam line here. I find the center, I go all the way to the top here, and that's what I use as my grain line. And I draw the grain line on the paper first, and then I work around it. I drew in my welt. I didn't use this, I just found the location and then I did the box. It's 3/8 of an inch by, which is a centimeter, by 5.5. I could have said that, I didn't even, most welts are just 5.5 when you cut them open, and then they will be, with seam allowance, a 6-inch opening. It's kind of a default. The welts on the Wardrobe by Me patterns are very easy to sew. Okay, so we have that. So now we're going to use the front to draft the back as far as the length goes, but we can kind of pencil it in to start. I'm going to add a 1/4 inch to the back rise and the inseam, and we'll do flat felled seams there, all right? So let's do the red marker so we know this is our final. See, the Sharpie's just so inaccurate. I'd much rather sketch it in. All right, we'll leave that there. All right, and so we had 29-inch. So this was the juncture. That's our crotch point right there. This one still has a centimeter seam allowance here. Yeah, again, it's quite different. 37.5, huh? It's not 37. And then we'll do an inch longer. Always perpendicular to that grain line. If the hem of a pant pattern, the grain line isn't perpendicular to hem, you should change that. Your hem is parallel to the floor, right? You think of it this way. I try and always insert some like logic so that it's easier to remember, right? So if your hem is parallel to the floor, right? It doesn't matter if you aren't perpendicular to the floor. Your hem is parallel to the floor. The pants are going to be perpendicular to the floor on you. So you would want the grain line to be perpendicular to the hem, which is the floor, right? That's how I look at it. Even if it's asymmetrical, if you're really doing some crazy asymmetry, then maybe you're going to tweak it. If you're looking at patterns, pant patterns with panels on the sides, I have seen some grain lines that weren't perpendicular there. I'm thinking of like the free range slacks. And I think I kind of looked at those during our pants fitting skill building session and kind of evaluated like why that was. I can't remember. I made mine custom to me for that fitting exercise. So yeah, but I can't remember what conclusion I came to, but they're not perpendicular to the floor. They're shaped. And I think it's because, actually I'm trying to remember, I think it's because the pants are a pull-on pant, right? So they have elastic, which, you know, elastic pants kind of have a bad rap for being kind of sloppy and sort of messy or, you know, sweat panty, right? Sweatpants like. And those aren't. I love the free range slacks. I've made them many times. And I remember a friend coming to me and saying, hey, you know, I want to make some pants. I'm sitting a lot right now and I want something comfortable, but I want them to look good. And I was like, free range slacks. If you had a little shirt that covers the waistband, no one would know those are pull-on pants because they're kind of tailored to the body. And that side panel is kind of what's doing the work of that. It takes out a lot of the volume that a pull-on pant would, because with the seams you can have some shaping. They're not barrel leg or anything. But anyway, and there's two views. There's like a full leg and a closer non-full leg. But that hem it goes like this. It very visibly goes like this on the pattern piece. All right, so now we're going to use our front to look at our back. But actually, let's do our hem circumference. So we came up with, I'm going to do it for the pants. I added a 1/2 inch to the front, so I made the front 7 1/4, and for the back, I'm going to do 7 3/4. You're still in chipmunk mode. Is that why you guys are so quiet? You're not. You're like in the past. It's funny. 3 1/2, 3 5/8. That would be 7 3/4, right? 3 1/2, 3 7/8. I knew that was wrong. I knew it. 3 7/8 would be 1/2. Okay. All right, and so here's my current hem circumference. It's kind of a big difference, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you ask a question, Ann? Oh, yeah, So House 7. I'm sorry. I just didn't see your question. Thanks for answering. So House 7, the free range slacks. I don't know. I love going to the grocery store. I don't know why people are so against it. There is no way I'm letting people make substitutions for what I want from the grocery store or picking my produce. Nah. No, I'm sorry. I'm not even really like a food snob anymore. I used to kind of be. Mm-mm. All right, so let's look at, I'm just going to kind of look at this pant and look at the shape here. I think that can work. I'm kind of looking for something that looks organic but balanced, you know, so I'm kind of looking at the space between, on either side of the grain line here. And like I said, you know, you don't really want a huge baggy knee, right? So I kind of scooped it in here. This right here is my extra seam allowance, so I have a 1/2 inch seam, which is clearly more than that. So yeah, it's always an inch exactly. Yeah, there's a really great farmers market in the big town here, and it's year round, which is great. But that one's pretty busy. There's a traveling farmers market that comes to our area every Sunday, and I drive up to it. It's like an 18-minute drive though, so it's the same going to town, but it's also just a few people, and what they do is they buy from all the farmers and then they sell it there. So they're trying to get this like food all these different places. So yeah, see that, I could see that, Jared, exactly. But my market here is not my kind of market. It is much more emphasized on very conventional processed food. And so the good grocery store here is by that traveling farmers market, weirdly. We had it here in town, and then town, like, remember this whole area burned down, right? And it just didn't make it. There were 2 grocery stores and then a grocery outlet, which is actually really nice here. Our grocery outlet's really nice. Those opened up. There's like 1,000 people here, you know, so they moved and reopened further in the mountains, and so I drive there. It's great. I love it. I kind of like it, the whole experience, so. Oh, it does it, Jared? I bet. That sounds, I mean, I think we all have this very idyllic view of what it's like to live in France, and I'm sure it's not like that everywhere. Yeah, but I get the convenience of just being able to do a grocery store list, plus you're more focused, and I would appreciate some focus at the grocery store. So I appreciate you guys doing this. Exactly, Rachel. No, I mean, I totally get it. Like, my old assistant, she loved it. Like, when that came around, she loved it. And she loved it because they would go out of town for the weekend and then come back into town, and she could just swing by there, pick up their groceries, and then drive up. They lived in Paradise, so they would drive to Paradise, and everything would have been closed then. So there's some really great things. And Michael loves it too, Rachel, don't worry. But for me, I really like produce things. I love the produce stuff. So, like, I'm not going to put persimmons on my grocery list and trust anybody to pick those out because they've probably never even eaten one, right? Like, that's dicey. All right, so let's look at our side seam here. Rachel with the big controversial things here. Rachel's not controversial. She's probably like, dang it. Why are we all talking about my grocery order? Wait, that's not where I want to go. That is not where I want to go with this. We need the pencil a little bit more. It's kind of nice when your inseam or your outseam can approach the hem, you know, like when it's approaching the hem, it can sort of gently almost straighten out. So then when you have your junctures, like say we're looking at the hem, right? And we have, let's say we're looking at the inseam and here's the outseam, right, behind it. And here's the hem inside, right? Right. So when this seam is coming down, it's nice when it can kind of straighten out a little bit, because then you'll get closer to a right angle right here and you'll get a smooth transition. Because if the seam comes down and it's more of a point, well, that's the opposite way, like this little, like say this is the outseam and this is the hem, that's going to make a point like this, right? You don't want that. Hey, Terry. You are, Rachel. I apologize on behalf of the chat. Yeah, and and you'll spend, yeah, see, Tiffany has a good point. Like, I think that there's some huge merits to the online thing, because you're more focused and it reminds you of things you've bought in the past. You're like, oh yeah, I do need more of that. I would appreciate that. Okay, so let's see here. If I'm looking at this length here like this. So I think that your pant outseam can be a lot of different things. It can be an exact replica, front and back, right? But let's say that seam has been designed to come forward onto the front a little bit or onto the back. It's not going to be the same at the top near the waistband, and you just never know. Hello, Nancy. How's it going? Rachel can take it. She has her reasons. They are just fine reasons for shopping online. I'm just walking this seam, and I don't know if you can't see this, but so I have the front right sides together to the back, and you can see like I have this Sharpie here, and so sometimes I will go like, I will draw on the Sharpie here, and it'll transfer that ink or pencil, so I can say, oh, this is what I want, right? So that's where we're going to go with that. And then let's see how we do on the inseam. You know, we didn't draft this from scratch, so we're kind of beholden to, is it balanced? Is it all the things, right? And so like this one, it matched. You never want to see that. You want to see them both match, because you can't just put this hem point here and this 1.5 inch off. The grain line will be off. So now you got to kind of do this little song and dance routine with it. So let's match this up and walk it again, because I don't feel like I got the waist very good. And I'm sort of looking, let's be more careful this time. I have a pencil line underneath, so it's a little all over the place. Oh wait, that matches way better that time. We love to see it. Yeah, okay. You love to see that. Do you know how much time I would spend in design school trying to get that right? Because I didn't have all the tools to sort of like move things around. So, see, there you go, Rachel. You've got a supporter. Oh man. All right, so let's make this one more concrete. I'm going here. I was looking at, I was really hoping for this next pant video I'm doing that I could do This is going to sound super fancy. Don't read into it. I was hoping I could do some 3D modeling in Procreate because they have a 3D modeler, but they don't. They only have a way to import a 3D model and then like illustrate it, like a soda can or a roller skate. Those are their two like examples. But what I need is something like, you know, like the 3D CAD modelers, because I really want to rotate the person. Oh well. What is that traced off pattern you see? What do you mean? What? Imagine persimmons or miss the string. If you're doing the hachia persimmons, you want them mushy. That's fine. It's persimmon season here. They're so good. But I like the fuyu. I like the firm ones. The ones that look, they're like a little bit more shaped like this. And they're like a pale orange color. Whereas the mushy ones are more of an oblong shape. And they are dark, dark orange. And those people will freeze and then scoop them out and eat them like ice cream. They're probably really good. I really like the firm ones. I like core it and then I slice it into wedges and then I eat them like an orange, like, and you just bite it and chew it and eat it. I don't eat the skin. Oh, that's great, Nancy. I never tried. Well, I'm making the pants version of the shorts, Terry. I had to. All right, we're, what is this 1/4 inch here? Jeez. See, this one can probably come in a little bit. All right. We're going to trim this down a little bit and get it a little closer to what we want. Welcome, Aisha. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Susan. Did I not say hi to you? Oh man, seriously, Susan? Like here they grow like in people's yards and they're like, please take our persimmons. No, not really. They do sell them in front of their house. And when I was living in Chico, it was really easy to come by them. But right now, I'm more beholden to the farmer's market. 4.5 hours? Oh my goodness. Terry's mistaking me tracing this pattern off for tracing a pattern to preserve it when I'm really just drafting a pattern. Exactly, you gotta go to Whole Foods. Yeah, do you have an extra handling section? Your version of Kroger. What does that mean? Nancy. Yeah, tell them it takes different equipment and different gadgets. Because that's your love language, I know. Okay, so we're going to put this front and the back aside in the pattern thingy. Because we don't need these now at all. They fit in there? Okay. They're very well loved. Oh, you ironed some fabrics too, that's great. I don't think I've ever had a pawpaw. I think I've seen them once, and it wasn't an expensive grocery store. You see them every once in a while. Oh, Target. Oh, cool. They are not like a mandarin orange, though. They don't taste like it. I just slice them like wedges and then eat them like that. Now you're going to sew. Oh, I see, Susan. Interesting about the Kroger thing. We don't have those here. That I know of. Okay, I start dawdling when I'm about to do something I know I would do better off camera. And this is one of those things. Yeah, right, exactly, Nancy, and I don't. Do you think someone could learn more or less by themselves how to pattern draft from scratch? There are no classrooms right here. You know, in design school, you learn women's wear, and you probably knew that. It is still 100% valuable because you do all the exact same things for women's wear as you do men's wear. You're just fitting something differently, and then it comes down to styling. So I know it seems like I don't want to learn how to draft all this women's wear. It doesn't matter if it's women's wear or not. You're learning how to do it, and you can do that, all those exact same things in men's wear. If you enjoy drafting, you'll enjoy the women's wear because there's more variation for styles and pattern drafts, and you learn all the blocks. So you learn the cut-on block, the set-in block, the raglan block, and the shirt block. So that's really valuable, even though you're probably not going to do as many cut-on sleeves for guys. Can you imagine? You will do a raglan, you'll do a shirt, and you'll do a set-in for sure. And it depends if you're going into like tailoring, like suit making. I would look at a school that specializes in that, and you're in Europe, so you have some options. So. But yeah, I loved design school. It was great. And I still use I use my one book a lot for everything. I still like looking through it. It doesn't, see, it's like, I guess it's like comparing it to like, if your pattern drafting book, like people will ignore a pattern drafting book because the designs in it look dated. And that's a huge mistake. And I can't stress this enough because it doesn't matter. You still draft the collar of a suit exactly the same. You just might elongate the point if you're in 1975 or make it really clipped if you're in 1995, right? So it's the exact same skills. And it's good to learn those different styles, so. You can't quit your job for your hobby. Oh, okay, you just want to learn, oh, you just want to learn for a hobby? I think you can learn on your own. One of my series, once I get past Fittopedia, I would love to do a series that goes through my preferred pattern drafting book. There's great pattern drafting books out there. Mine isn't the only one that I like. And I would like to go through it in order and teach drafting that way. I just don't think there's a lot of people that really want to know how to do that. I don't know, Tiffany. There's a lot of really bad advice out there, and there's a lot of people out there that sound like they know what they're talking about, that are self-taught, that they're pretty good, but they're missing some really fundamental, foundational things, and that's kind of where I start getting a little nervous about some of the stuff out there, you know? I was never trained as a teacher, so I don't think you should always listen to me either. All right, let's get these done here. All right, so we have the front. I think let's commit to our front here so we have it. I'm going to trim off my Sharpie line for the most part since it's so gosh dang thick. I'm not going to go past the hem. I'm going to draft in the hem still. Michael went to the big farmer's market on Saturday, the one in Chico, and there was a scissors and knife sharpener there. He even did pinking shears. I was like, really? I think, you know, you don't really need to learn how to pattern draft completely. But learning how to alter things is really handy. My pet peeves are in-home sewing patterns is the way the sleeves are drafted and the way the collars are drafted are my two biggest pet peeves, because a lot of pattern companies don't seem to know how to draft a lot of collars that have been around for a really long time, and they do their own like version of it, and it's not quite right. And I'm not saying you can't do your own style, like that's whatever. I just think that it perpetuates a little bit of confusion, you know. See, this can't go back and forth like this. I love how I'm talking about pattern drafting, and I'm pattern drafting with an ancient ruler, a Sharpie, and not even a drafting pencil. So yeah, you shouldn't listen to me at all. I'm just gonna walk this. Okay, let's cut that before we forget which one it is. Yeah, absolutely. I think my better grading of making just, yeah, exactly. Are they really, Sylvia? Oh, I was always told they weren't. Interesting. Okay, let's look at the side seam here. I think right there would be better. Oh, that is like so perfect. I'm so happy with that. Most people want to start with such advanced things with pattern drafting, and I think that's part of the problem. And because we've talked about this many times in the guild. Wait, where's my line? Right here. Nope, it's right there. Does it really go out that far? I don't think it should. I'm gonna go like this. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I like to pivot at the hip. Okay, now we're back on track. You know when someone wants to start a new hobby, I've done this, and you end up going, I'm going to do this. My first project is going to be to build a skyscraper, right? And everyone around you who is advanced and they're making skyscrapers all the time is like, you know, maybe you should start with a hut. And you're like, but I want a skyscraper. Like, come on. Why would I waste my time on a hut? And then, you know, the people that are really supportive around you will be like, go for it. Just dive in, build that skyscraper, right? And some of the other people are like, yeah, okay, but we're just warning you that you're going to spend a lot of time on something, and you're probably going to be like, shoot, why did I spend all this time on something when I don't have the foundational skills for it? And people might get hurt because of the skyscraper I built, right? So I'm one of those in both camps. I'm like, go for it. You should, when you want to learn a project, the thing that inspires you the most and motivates you the most, go for it, because you're probably going to finish it too. And I think that that's kind of important, is finishing a project to get the whole scope of the process. However, you're probably 5 years from now going to look back at that and go, oof, that's a big oof, right? And if you'd had some of those foundational things, they're like building blocks, right? So the skyscraper can stand on firmer ground. And pattern drafting is like that, because pattern drafting isn't necessarily hard at all. It's that when you're learning it, you learn this, and then you learn to build on this, and then you build on it with this, and you build on. Pattern drafting is very building block-ish. So you learn how to do this, and then you add these layers to it, right? You learn the basic bodice, and then you learn how to stylize that bodice and how to manipulate the dart, right? You don't even learn fitting right away. And skipping those, when people are like, I want to draft this ball gown with a corset, you're like, that's nice, see you later, I don't want to help out with this, you know? That's great, but you're also, you're not only learning how to draft, you're also learning how to put something together with fabrics you may have never used before, you know? So it's just one of those things. Oh yeah, you know, I'm scrolling back a little bit. Oh, that's awesome, Terry, you added your sleeve. And I get that, Jared. I think that's a really good motivation, is for sizing reasons, because there's not enough out there for you to pick from to buy. And that's a very motivating thing. And you also don't want to look like you're wearing pajamas all the time that you've made, right? So you do want to do things that are more sophisticated. I get that. So, and that motivation's not going to die. You're always going to want clothes that fit, right? So that does, Nancy. That totally counts. Yeah, you knocked it off. That's what I call a knockoff, or other people call knockoff. And what's the other term? I've drafted from a sloper and I found it to be, yeah. And see, that's the thing, is like, when I came onto the home sewing scene, I was really hot to trot on everyone having a sloper, because I was just like, what are you all doing buying all these patterns when you could just draft that? Over the years, I've cooled it on that. And it's interesting, because now I'm seeing a ton of interest in drafting a sloper. You know, and Cashmere came out with that sloper school, and all these sloper things that you can do. I don't know why I'm sitting here talking. I really need to get going. But I've cooled it on this because a sloper is not the answer to all your fitting issues if you're not willing to fit the sloper to begin with. And a lot of people aren't. They really get in the weeds of fitting, and they cannot get out of the weeds. Like, they're in a hole and they can't get out, and they don't try things and fail a few times. They want it to be perfect from the get-go. That is so hard, you know? Oh, that's great, Anne. I love that. Rub off. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah, like I've had people say, you know what, forget this. I'm just going to learn how to draft a sloper. And I'm like, oh, that's so much more fitting. You know, it's so much more fitting. Like, I've had 3 slopers since I've started my channel. Like, I change my sloper occasionally, you know. I just wanted to draft my sleeve hem, and because I'm talking, I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way by folding it up and cutting it off, because I'm talking and I'm not getting anything done. There's so much work in a sloper. Okay, we have that hem. I didn't leave enough for this hem over here. And then when you have your sloper, you have to know how to draft other things to be able to use it. You can't just, like, where are you getting that collar? Where are you getting that placket? How do you know how much ease to put in it to give it enough to fit you? It's a whole thing. And so I think that's what's more important in home sewing is, and it's, I feel bad changing my tune about this, but it just comes from experience and not being in this one myopic viewpoint, because that's where I was at, is I think what's more important is learning how to change patterns and fit them. I think that, and I don't mean fitting because like things don't fit you. I mean changing them because you're like, I would like the same style, but I want it looser fitting. I want it closer fitting or whatever. Fitting is great, but I don't think you have to fit everything. I think there's a lot of overfitting going on as well. So, you know, It's says the girl drafting with a rotary knife. Yeah, that's great, Terry. I love that. That is, you did get lucky. A sheath is basically a basic bodice, but a wearable one. It is the first, I mean, when you draft a sloper, it is a bodice, a fitted bodice, 2 darts, 2 on each side, and then a skirt. There's someone walking by right now. That was really weird. A skirt with a dart in front, a dart in back, so 2 dart skirt, or a 4 dart skirt. As the darted sloper, when I say 2 dart, I mean a shoulder and a waist, or a bust and a side and a waist dart. That's what I mean by 2 dart. And a darted back. Sometimes 2. The traditional way would be a tiny little shoulder dart and then a waist dart in the back. That would be your sloper. And then a sheath dress is very similar in shape to that. Okay. Okay. I think that this looks really full for Michael in the back here. Let's trim down our rise so we can get more of a realistic look at it. I've looked at Michael for decades now, and I've been a pattern drafter for decades, so I can kind of look at it and go, that's probably too full across the seat for him. So I could kind of scoop this out a little bit. That would lengthen the side seam, so that's the danger with doing that. And if I do that, I could maybe shorten the side seam at the waist up there. But then you're kind of changing with this whole triangulation of the crotch point here, and this from here to there, and here to there, right? So. Fisheye, exactly. Oh, because it doesn't have a waist seam, that kind of sheath, exactly. Yeah, you really understand the body. This is one of the things I want to, with this pant fitting video I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down why it's so difficult because of these 2 different cylinders that you're fitting. And I always talk about that, but you know. All right, do I want to, let's look at his jeans. These are a jeans fit and they have stretch in them, so, you know, not very accurate for what I'm doing. They're accurate, but so they fold to the front, right? They fold to the front. So you look at how much fuller that is. So this is probably where this is at on this pattern, right? And then this one is about right here. So it's not as much as I thought, so that's good. I forgot I didn't silence my phone. I got a phone call. So now let's look at this one. So the seam line is about right here, so we're right here. So the front is almost identical. It's obviously skinnier, not by much. Okay, I'm actually happy with this. We'll start with this. We might find, maybe I scoop a little bit out right here. You know, right here in this area. Something like that. I like that look. I'm going to start from here. Yeah. Okay. Now I could have even taken it all the way up to almost the waist seam, and then that way it wouldn't have shortened the seam as much, the length of the seam. These aren't a tight fitting short, so I'm not too worried. All right. Well, let's try them out. Okay, we can move that there. I didn't bring my paper bin over here, so I'm just throwing things on the floor. That is so me to do that. Like if you've ever shared a pattern room with me, I throw everything on the floor. That's how you're taught. You just throw it all on the floor. Keep your surface clean, you know? Terrible roommate. All right, we have all of our pattern pieces here. Okay, so I think this feels like the bigger piece. Let's just see. Now let me brighten this up a little bit, or a lot. Or a lot. Sorry, your eyeballs. No, we won't do that. Let's start here. We're going to put the pattern pieces on top. You know what I mean? We could do the doggies first. We're going to do front pockets and the back pocket. I have this piece of tape on my finger and it feels really funny. Need to get it off. Non-directional doggies. What is going on with these doggies? What do you think the theme is with these doggies? Capes and hoods? Are they Halloween? Look at, he's dressed like a policeman. Oh, and that's like a medical person, a cowboy. I think these are like Halloween dogs. They're not redrafted, Amy. They're just, the shorts are the same. All I did was make a pant version, but I'm not going to be doing the cargo pockets or the butt patch, and they have been fit to him, but that's it. Like, I didn't change the style, if that makes sense. Maybe career dogs. Okay, I like that better because they're not, they could be not Halloween costumes. Good point. It's very important to be a career dog, you know? You never know when you might have to buy your own kibble. All right, so like I said at the beginning, if you have a directional print and you're doing the back pocket, that's the welt. You might find, well, this one isn't marked either way. Just remember that you want to cut it so that, I'm actually just looking at this. Is it symmetrical? Oh yeah, so you're kind of fine either way you cut this. This is, I drew that in there. But that's the notch to that. Okay, cool. Take your dog to work day. Look at this one's a lifeguard and he has swim goggles on. Wait, this is hilarious. I don't know what some of them are. It's a business suit. What's the pug? That's hilarious. The husband and wife who own this company are really fun. They're really nice people, really fun people. They're really funny too. And they're just like, I actually think about them sometimes because I think about like how they probably have to travel a lot to go to all these shows, and they just seem like they're having a really good time doing it, and they're just like, don't sweat that. Don't stress out about that. Like, they're so chill. I've done a few videos for them, and they seem super eager about it, and they're like, yeah. I could probably be like, here you go. I made you 12 videos and they're all an hour long. They'd be like, that's awesome. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, hey, can you do this now? And, you know, like they're very chill to work with. And then I'll look and they won't do anything with the videos. Like they're all still on my channel, private. They don't use them. I'm like, you guys need to use these videos you paid for. It's really funny. Okay, so. And I'll even see that it has views sometimes, and I'm like, wait, you guys are linking to this video. Why don't you download it and put it where you want it? And they're like, ah, it's fine. I'm like, but it's private. And it's like a how-to. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not like, you know, FBI secrets or anything. It's really funny. This is Splash Fabric. Isn't it cute? Here, I'll show it a close-up once I cut this pocket. They have it laminated and non-laminated. I don't think I've talked to you guys much about working with these folks and their fabrics, because I thought we were going to do something together, and then I would have been able to talk all about it. But let me show you their fabrics, because they're actually really cool. They're right here. Oof. Okay. I didn't forget them. I just don't want them. Sorry, Terry. I'm not notching. Notches, schmotches. Name that guild member. Okay. So they've sent me a lot of their bags, and they're in the next room. I've done like a few how-to sew videos. They have free all their patterns are free on their website. But you can also buy some of their things ready-made. But I just want to show you their laminate. This is the laminate. It is, when they first approached me, I was like, I am done with vinyl and laminates and things like that. And then they were like, just let us send you some. And it is nothing like any of the laminates that have been on the market. It's super buttery soft. It doesn't feel weird. The back is just fabric. It is waterproof. They design all the prints. I have like swatch cards of theirs. They just come out with new prints. But this is Splash Fabric. Yes, they did have that at Expo. That's where I got it. Yeah, they did. Here's another laminate. You can iron it. It's crazy. It is really nice stuff. So yeah, I love, this is one of my favorite prints they did. That's why I have the biggest piece here. They've sent me a lot of stuff. And look at this. They had binding that matches their this is laminate. And then they sent me binding on rolls. I was like, can I keep it? I don't think they sell the binding, but because they have a production facility. But anyway, yeah, check them out. Splash Fabric. That's their logo. Yeah, they were like the non-laminates I ship were on those. I think they were on those. No, I think they were standing in a barrel or something. Oh yeah. A garment. It might do good with a garment there. Yeah, they were. It was at the pavilion. Is that what it's called? The pavilion. It's super cute. So you can get it laminated or not laminated, Aisha. But it's actually a cute dog print. And when Rayanne and I were shopping fabrics, Dog prints were always something we kept an eye on, and cat prints. We always had a ton of cat prints, and dog owners would be really kind of snarky with us about it. And I just said, you know, it's really hard to find a good dog print. And my rep, I've told you guys this before, my rep said it perfectly. He said, you can make a cat print of any cat, and it's fine. But if you make a dog print, it has to be a specific dog for people to buy it. And he was absolutely right, because anytime we had a dog print, people would say, they would send me an email. I just purchased everything in your pupcake print. Can you please center the such and such dog on as many things as possible? And I would be Googling what the heck dog that was, because I didn't know it, you know. I think that this is actually the right notch, this one right here. I think these notches don't line up. But look at, yeah, breed specific. Yeah, you have to, for dog prints, you have to have breed specific. Look at it, it's really cute though. It is take your dog to work day though. I mean, I don't know what this dog's doing, or this one. This one has a medal. They're funny. Okay. I'm just going to take all these pattern pieces out and put them in the bin. Yeah, I got the whale as well. I just wanted to have some like easy fabrics to wash and have on hand for whatever. You just never know when you need them, and I did need them this time. I'd never have pocket fabric for Michael. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous at this point. Okay. I'm using the, which twill is this? Which one's the twill that doesn't stretch at heart? Yeah, it's a Little Red Riding Hood dog, exactly. You get silk with the dog print, or the jacket line, that's cute. Is it your dog? Is it Milu? I'm excited to make that garment bag. I think that thing's really cool. I think it looks fun to sew. I'm gonna try and get these pants. I do not think I can, but on this small piece of fabric. That way I'll know I have enough for Paige's shorts, which I still need to cut and sew. But I might be able to get his pants, at least the pants part out, and that would be huge. Yeah, I think so. Let's see if I can get him on grain. Oh, so that's a good idea. That's way too boring for me though, Terry. That's just so practical. Not boring, practical, you know? If I have the opportunity to make Michael wear whatever I want, I'm going to take it. I can't wait for you guys to see the Sanders on him. I could show you if you want. Yeah, I thought this was way over there. It's much easier to do this. 8.5. Okay. Poor Milu. Oh yeah, I think I can get those down there. Barely though. See, this is one of those wrinkles that plague me and Terry. But I'm gonna take a chance and go up higher. This has end of the bolt vibes to it. You know? That's true. You have jackalopes? That's cool. I like that. I had this roommate from New York City once, and she moved to Southern California and was living with us. And my boyfriend at the time and I, we all three lived together. Okay, that's going to work. And we sent her a postcard from wherever we were visiting, and it had a jackalope on it. And we wrote something like, we've only seen a couple of these, but they're really cute. We totally thought she would know they were fake. They weren't a real animal. And when we got back, she was like, "Did you get any pictures?" And we were like, "Oh, shoot. No, we didn't get any pictures." And we just kind of went with it for a bit, just because it was sort of funny, but we also didn't want her to know we had lied. She took it well eventually when she found out, but she was very gullible, and that was my first really good chance of seeing how gullible she was. I was like, "Oh, I am so sorry. I don't want to take advantage of you like that." Okay, can you guys see? Very good. Tropical banana print. Yeah, maybe I need to look for more things. You know what? I don't know. I hope I made these long enough. I'm so glad I added the seam allowance, because I would have already been cutting these and then remembered. So, good thing we talked about it at the beginning. Okay, let's start our fabric pile over there. New blade. New blade. Obvious, right? I really need some scissors in here. I'm going to, no, I'll do this. They just moved out one of the last patient resources in this building, because it's like an old medical place. And I've told you guys, it's like a 2-story place, and all the offices, entrances face this center area. So there's a courtyard in the middle, and then there's 4 doors into this whole courtyard complex. And then you either go upstairs or downstairs and find your office. But because the last office with patient services or like people who could come and visit here is closed, they're going to lock all those doors, so it's our own private courtyard now. Kind of cool. We'll just hero mark it for now. Okay, got our Oh, that's fun, Aisha. I hate when I mark these on the right side. You know what? Let's just give ourselves a gift for the future and move these right now. You know? Because it's so much easier standing here than at my machine. Put the dart marking on the wrong side. Okay, I'm going to keep the backs out because of the welt pocket. But honestly, I usually let the pocket fabric that we already cut out dictate this. Yeah, do I? I usually let this dictate it. Oh well, I'll put these together. I may need to go over to the other side of the table and cut those. I'm barely on the table here. Oh, shoot. I just ruined that blade, I bet. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, that is not my side seam. The pocket opening. There we go. That's the pattern piece. Okay. I'm gonna put this guy away. Oh, I'm so happy I got this out of this fabric because I'm gonna definitely have enough for both. Let's see what I can get out of these smaller pieces. Wait, what? Oh gosh, Terry, you're reminding me you sent me a video. And now I'm trying to remember what it was. I wanted to look at it. Shoot. I will. Okay, so we have our facing. We have these pocket facings, fly, back pocket facing, belt loops. These are what's left. So here we could probably get our waistband. It's not on the fold, but we can get 2. We need 4. Wait, we need 2. Oh, it's a facing, not a waistband. Oh my God, this pattern. It's gonna foil me someday. And that's the length grain. So we could actually get it potentially right here, although I've cut my selvage off. So figuring out the exact length grain, you know, is a little dodgy. A little dodgy. I mean, it's a waistband, so it's not so critical as that. Is that straight right there? It's a facing, not a waistband, exactly. This is, if you've never watched me sew these, Susan, give me all the thoughts and prayers, because I tell you what, I screw these up every time I sew them. All right, so I'm looking at this line here, which is this one right here. This one here. This one here. Okay, so I'm just using the table for my grain line. Okay, there we go. All right, we got that. I think all of these, you know what? I think I just got his pants out of 1 3/4 yards. I left some extra here at the center front because Saremy apparently can't remember how to sew these every time and does them wrong. So we're going to give ourselves some extra. I'm just going to leave it like this. Yeah, so like a waistband has fabric on the outside, on the inside, right? And it like sits on the top like a cuff, right? This is a facing, so it just faces then. What's his inseam? I was trying to. Yeah, it's 29. Yeah. And this fabric's really wide. Like it's easily 60 inches wide, maybe 58 inches wide. So, all right, so this right here might be tall enough for these guys here, maybe. Yeah, that's awesome, Shim. I mean, like, he's slender enough I can get them pretty close, you know, on either side. I had to stagger it a little bit because of the seat curve. I have this long piece here. I'm going to do belt loops, Shem. Don't have a heart attack. Are we close to on grain? You just hope you can get it on grain. I don't think so. Maybe I dip into the Hey Lydia, how's it going? Nice seeing you. I don't usually cut into those like folded areas because I really hate dealing with them once the garment's sewn. But I'm sort of determined to get this on this amount of fabric. Okay, so I did get that there. Yeah, draw the grain line on. What's the video? What's the one they're asking for right now, Terry? Here we go. I can get that guy there. And then these. And it's just my belt loops that I have left. This, you know what? This one I'm gonna fudge this is just the facing for the pocket opening, so I don't mind fudging that a little bit. No one's gonna see that. I do like the facing though to be as close to on grain as possible, or perfectly on grain, because of the, you know, it completes the front pant. So you see your whole front pant, and then that little corner of your pocket, you don't want that off grain. It'll look funny. Like the sheen of the fabric could be a little different, you know. I don't like that. Put these with the pocket. Can I get these belt loops in this? Yep. See ya, Ann. Oh, a single welt pocket. Oh, okay, got it. That's another pocket. Another thing in the home sewing world that we're all kind of not sewing an actual welt pocket. And I don't really care. Like, I think they're great no matter what you're doing. But a lot of them are just like a fake welt, and I think that's fine. Oh, did I not? Oh yeah, I did it. I got it. Okay, good. Put this one with the pocket as well. You only need one of this. Cut two interfacing. Interesting. Oh, this is just interfacing. Huh. I don't know. Do we think I'm going to sew this correctly this time? I think I might practice. Sort of determined. Yeah, this one has welts. It's very easy to sew though. I think of her welt pocket design is very easy to sew. Oh, I need 4 of this. See, I told you. That'll be your hashtag now. This one I might iron before I cut. Maybe I can get it on there without ironing it. Okay. I have my big chunk of fabric left, which is great. See you, Diane. What do we think? Wiggin for the fly? When can I not use this? Yeah, use it every time. Okay, yeah. I like that it's on the bias. I feel like that'll make it look more natural. It's like barely wider than this pattern piece. I almost don't want to trim it off. There we go. I'm going to have this a while. I also got a little package from Rachel. She sent me some band roll. Have you guys, oh, why didn't you tell me that the camera was, did you guys tell me the camera was, oh my goodness, you guys are, she sent me this band roll, and so this is the kind of stuff you can get really crisp hems with in DC. She removed some of the fibers already. Can you see it? Maybe if I put it over the weight. There's a really great video on the Downtown Tailors channel. Way Whack Band Roll. Yeah, and this one she wrote for rolled hems. Yeah, so she already did the whole rolled hem for me. I haven't gotten to play with it yet. Okay. We've got those cut. So tomorrow I'm going to start sewing. And I think I'm going to overlock the side seams and overlock things like facing edges, but flat fell the inseam and the side seam. So the plan is mostly a combination of overlock and flat fell. And I will maybe do binding on the inner waistband. I think I've done that before, right? So yeah, I can't wait to try it, Rachel. It's so cool that you can just sew right over that and just slip it out. Like I feel like there's a lot of uses for that, honestly. That shearing foot on the curved shirt tail hem, I can't wait to do that again. That was great. We're coming up with our own kind of gadgety things too, you know? All right, so we've got our pants. Let's organize the bin in the order we're gonna sew this. And I could try and do it the way that the instructions are. Would you guys like that? I have to look at them. I'm not sure which way Miss Christina has written these. Let's see. Okay, so step one is, this is my, all right, step one is the belt loops, and which I need to iron this. Usually she has interfacing as the very first step, so we'll set those aside too. So we have our that cargo pockets prep. We're going to skip that. Okay, so now the front pockets. This is the fly. This is the back. All right, so we have front pockets. But we need to interface these. Oh, I'm not going to interface those. I'm not going to interface that. You can though. My fabric's thick enough, I don't need to. And we do the front and some of the belt loops, okay. And then the butt patch, the dart, and then I think we start doing the pocket, which is this. And this, you don't need a welt for this because it's part of the pocket facing. Yeah, and then it'll be the fly and the waistband. So yeah, fly. What is this? Is this one of these? Oh yeah, it's like, that looks just like one of those. Okay, it's the fly and the waistband. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's neat, Aisha. You don't know if you're missing stuff. We were just talking about the band roll that Rachel sent me. Okay, we're set. We'll just do the interfacing together as we go. So then that way it's a reminder to do it. And I don't know why I have all these little just like fluff on here now. And we're set. I have a few pattern pieces to put away. I'm just going to put them on the very bottom. I'm also going to keep these notes here. And we're not going to have any hiccups with these because I'm going to practice. So, all right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Sewing part 1. Cargo shorts as pants. And we'll get these sewn. So, I'll see you then. Bye.